Good morning. This is pretty early for me to be on the road. I usually teach all the way up until as far as we can for VIPKid while we can. But today, I have a student-teacher schedule. I was going to do her last week and then ended up booking and forgetting, so I moved it to this week. Unfortunately, it lands on the last week we can have his kids. You know, I have to observe her once. Well, each student teacher, I observe them once a month. And this is the last week. And Monday's her only day. It's the best day to observe her. So Monday morning. And so if I could have pushed her to next week, that'd been great. But I didn't want to keep doing it, keep pushing her off like that. So, and so I had to end today at my 7 o'clock class was my last class I had scheduled for today. I didn't open up any more after that. And that was like right before that last frenzy. I had to make sure I didn't, because I didn't want to, miss this one again. So, anyway, it felt kind of today. It wasn't as sad. I said goodbye to. Today I had all students I've had before. There were no new students today. I think tomorrow I have like one or two, but today we're all new. Today we're all students I've had, and a couple of them were regulars. And so out of the 1, 2, 3, 4, I think I had 6 today, 6 students. 4, 5, 5:30, 6, 6:30, 7. Yeah, 6 students. And so I would say that I had to say bye to 4 of the 6. Two of them have another class scheduled with me this week at some point. So those 2, I was able to tell them we have one more class together, and we just have to say goodbye. One little girl, but the first 2 classes I had, both were late. One was about 6 minutes late, and the girl after him was about 4 minutes late. And I felt bad for the boy. I'd only had him like maybe twice, so it wasn't that hard to say goodbye. It was, I thanked him and all that. The girl, I picked her up as a regular when the speaking courses were popular. And so that's one of the good things, those supplemental packages they would sell. You would always, if you did great, you'd always score a couple more regulars. Now, she was one that I scored. And she was good. She always spoke in full sentences on her own. Very sweet, very sweet. Like if I'd say, do you like ice cream? Yes, I like ice cream. Or if I'd say something that was a negative sentence like, do you like to play soccer? No, I would rather not play soccer. And she would say like, no, I would rather not play soccer. Really soft, just like very matter of fact and everything. Very funny. She's a very sweet girl. Fully participated. Some days she was really happy. Some days you could tell she was tired, but she still gave it her all. Today I felt kind of bad because when she arrived like 6 minutes late. She wasn't the 4-minute late one. And so that meant there was no time for a lot of introduction, how you doing and all that. I still did some because I knew it was our last class, so I just did that, and throughout the lesson, I've taught this lesson many, many times, so I knew the slides that we could omit, and so I don't fly through them like that. I just type the numbers on the bottom, so it looks like I'm just going to the next slide. And usually I've never had a parent call me out on that before, because it looks like you're just going to the next slide. You're not just, skip that. So anyway, just learn the little number system, and you're going great. And so I made sure I did that so we could get to, I wanted to end like at the 30 second mark. So we went a little quicker than we would. And that kind of threw her off her game today, so she didn't perform as well. And I felt kind of bad for that. But a lot of this lesson, it's a lesson on technology. And a lot of it's repeating anyway. The only thing she was flubbing up on is when to use was or were. And that's a common thing for most kids. And even people here in America, they miss that one a lot. I just gave myself a major double chin when I leaned over like that. But, I was able to, thank her. And sometimes these children, I don't know if they're understanding, like comprehending what I'm saying when I do say that. Because they'll say bye, or maybe they're that's just their, bye. And so maybe they do, and that's just their way of, saying goodbye. They just don't know how to express, thank you, that she can say thank you, but, and so their English skills, this was a level 4 kid, so maybe not, and so I will she's a regular that I don't have on WeChat, I don't think. I'm going to have to look and see. But I will leave my WeChat information in the parent feedback that I send to them. That usually tends to work out pretty well when I do that. If it's their last class. I've had a few add me after our last class that I've given up before and they've never added me. And some of the other ones, I don't think I have them on WeChat either. The ones I've said goodbye to. There's one kid, the last kid I had to say bye to today. He's amazing. He's a really, really good student because he's very interactive. His reading is low, but if he doesn't understand something, he asks questions. He's not one bit shy to ask a question. The problem with that is he'll ask questions so many times. We were starting the unit on jobs and careers, that one. And the poem they read at the beginning, he lists like all of them almost. So what's this? What's a plumber? What's a florist? What's a I started answering them because I'd forgotten. If I'd have paid attention closer, I don't know what I was thinking. It's the first lesson. I would just said, we're going to go over all of these throughout this unit. You will learn about these today. But I sat there and defined every one of them. And then throughout the lesson, he's asking, well, what, for the plumber, he'd say plumber. And so, that's a common mistake. I'm not complaining about that. And so what's a plumber do? He didn't, he wasn't sure what a toilet was. So what's a toilet? What's a toilet? So I pulled up a picture of a toilet. What are pipes? He didn't say pipes. He when he first read what a plumber does, a person who fixes, instead of pipes, he made a 2-syllable word with long E sounds. So he fixes pee-pees. And so I did a little, I started to keep from laughing. I was like, oh, no, that's pipes, long I's, 1-syllable pipes. All pipes. And he would, he would say pips sometimes. And I would remind him pipes, which is not, that's another common error. If you get if you forget the bossy E rule, because sometimes the bossy E rule doesn't apply, and so I can see sometimes just taking a guess at pips or pipes, but definitely not peepees. And so all the ones I said bye to today were good. They're decent to good students that I've enjoyed having. The one older kid, he's like a deep voice like this. He's in level 6. It's like pulling teeth. He reminds you of that really slow talking, slow moving, but super athletic kid in school who was also your top honor student. And they're always like thinking everything's bored. Like, he's never been like that. He's never rolled his eyes and sighed. You can tell he's like, okay, he's over it and everything else. So it's like pulling teeth to get him. He's very friendly, but it's like pulling teeth to get him to participate. And sometimes I'll just say, well, okay, if he just gives me like a little bit, let's move on. I don't know if you realize my sarcasm when I do that. So. Anyway, but there's 2 kids that I have that I really like, that I get to see at least one more, not at least, it will be one more time, because they can't book anymore. I had somebody booked this morning. I had someone booked for next week, so she's a level 7, and so I think she might be new, I can't remember. I think it's a new student. She must be from outside of mainland China, because this morning I got like a on my phone, and she booked for next week, like at 4 o'clock, of all spots to pick, of next week to do that. It's like, oh, okay. I'll take them. But is anyone else getting like bookings from outside? I have one booking. He was just there because of a priority booking. He's my only student whose priority bookings happen to land to where they can go until like the 5th. So I have him actually on November 5th. And I'm surprised. I have one more student that's she's a regular who lives in Hong Kong. I expect her to book. They usually book like the week of sometimes. Sometimes they do the frenzy. But lately they haven't been doing that because of it's been really kind of confusing, who can do what right now. And so I'm hoping that they book soon. She has a younger brother too, who is in level 1.
There's a 5-minute slowdown caused by construction in 4 miles. You are still on the fastest route.
I had to put the GPS because this is a school I've never been to. sometimes they have to change their placements to get more experience in different places. Anyway, and so what was I going with that? Oh, he's in level 1. I dropped level 1 certification back in January. I thought about getting it back just to see if they want, because she's had issues keeping a teacher right now, because every time that he finds a teacher, that teacher ends up leaving, not leaving the class, but after they're done, they just announce that, this is, the last one, and so the teacher never opened any other bookings. So they haven't had really good luck getting a good teacher who's staying right now. So I don't know. But how's everyone else's morning going? I'm thinking about on Friday, they're doing trick or treat where I live in my neighborhood. This is the first time in this neighborhood. I moved into this neighborhood in April. And this will be my first Halloween trick or treat. Getting to actually see people. Only people I've seen are that I have neighbors on each side of me, then there's a neighbor further down on the corner. Those have been steady. The house in front of me and the house in front and adjacent, they've had people move, they've had people moved in, moved out already before. So there's people there I don't know. So really I've only seen 3 houses of neighbors. And I live in a good sized neighborhood. I asked the landlord and she said it'd be about 400 to 500 students who will stop by the house for trick or treat. So what I may do, I may somehow set up a live and just be there live as I'm giving out candy. And I know most of your neighborhoods will also be doing things on a Friday evening too, so I know that a lot of people won't be able to attend that. Anyway, I'm going to start focusing. This is the part of the highway where construction happens and all that wonderful stuff. I gotta start focusing on the road more. So, all right, y'all have a good day.